Hello everyone, this is Rich Kale here on YouTube, Rich Gen X elsewhere, and it is time to return to Lamplight City, and I hope you watch till the end. So, as we left off, we had just gotten here to a taxidermist, so we're going to try and...
Is that supposed to be a lion? I wonder how many people it took to bring down this brute. There's a small button on the base.
Ah, I see that.
Just when I thought I'd seen it all. What will they think of next?
Yeah, it's kind of neat, kind of a little freaky.
Reminds me of the one in the Dupre house, except that one actually looked alive. There's a small button on the base.
Oh, brother. Well, we'll look at...
That leads into a room with even more dead things. It's such a shame we haven't the time to stick around and explore.
I don't know.
I thought owls were supposed to be wise. How'd this one let itself end up on display in a place like this?
Yeah.
Exotic dead fauna from every other continent. You never even need to leave Vespuccia.
Okay. Now let's push the button for the parrot.
Welcome to the Grip Zone Taxidermy Shop. Please enjoy our displays and be sure to consider us for all your taxidermy needs. Just a reminder, we stuff animals only.
Okay, well, you know, I've heard some people want to be stuffed when they die.
I was wondering if you might answer some questions for me.
Of course. What can I help you with?
Okay. Let's,
I was told Ronan Lespay works here. Do you know him?
Ronan? Yes, of course. That is to say, I know he works here. I haven't had much interaction with him. He mostly keeps to himself.
Does he have an office or workspace I might have a look at?
Now, wait just a minute. Why would I let some random stranger off the street in to look at an employee's workspace?
Because I'm a private investigator and I'm trying to get some information.
Yeah.
Well, even if that is the case, I'm afraid you're out of luck. Ronan does have a workspace, but it's completely bare. He doesn't keep anything here.
Were you aware that Ronan was murdered 4 nights ago?
I had no idea. That's awful. What happened?
That's what I'm currently trying to find out.
Yeah.
You know if Ronan had any enemies? Anyone who might want to do him harm?
No. As I said, I didn't speak with him much, or know much about him. But now that I think about it, I did notice a strange man waiting around outside the shop a few days ago.
Oh.
Tell me about this strange man you saw.
At the time, I didn't think much of him, but the more I recall, the more I realized he was being very suspicious.
What did he do?
He just stood outside across the street, but he seemed to be focusing on the building. It was as though he was waiting for someone.
Do you remember what this man looked like?
I didn't get a very good look at him, but I do remember some things. He
Yeah.
was tall and had a heavy build, like a boxer or a dock worker. He had a beard, I think, or mutton chops at the very least. And as far as I can recall, he was wearing all black. He also had on some kind of cap. I'm sorry I can't give you a better description, but that's all I was able to distinguish. My eyesight isn't very good, I'm afraid.
It'll have to do. Thank you for your help.
Well, that gives us a clue.
Anything you can tell me about the shop?
Plenty! This is New Britannia's most sophisticated taxidermy shop. Unlike other taxidermists, we work with modern technology to get results they could only dream of.
What does that mean exactly?
Using steam tech, we are able to create the illusion of life in these beasts. Just take a look at our floor samples. The parrot and gorilla are 2 of our finest works. They really speak for themselves. Well, the parrot does at least. I think it would frighten our customers if the gorilla did too. And once ethericity is harnessed as a viable source of energy, we'll get even better results.
This guy is way too excited about bringing dead things back to life.
Yes, fascinating. Moving on.
Yeah.
So how did you get this job?
Oh, it isn't a terribly exciting story, I'm afraid. I just saw an ad in the clerk position. I never expected to learn so much about taxidermy.
I'm sure he's amazing conversation at parties.
Yeah, I can imagine it.
Any thoughts on the recent election?
I'd really rather not talk about it. I don't know how the people of this country could put someone like Leroy in charge.
I know what you mean. Roy may be a champion, man. Atwood's vision for the future is more important right now.
I couldn't agree more. Leroy wants to take all the technological advance the last decade and take us back to the Dark Ages. Next thing we'll be bringing slavery back.
I doubt go to such extremes.
Perhaps we should drop the subject. I get a bit hashy when it comes to these sorts of things.
Understandable.
For your help.
I'm here to serve.
So, we now have some more clues.
That leads into
Okay, we don't have to go in there, and I think that pretty much leaves everything out. So, we have more information. Alright, what's it? The Crimson Cat? Yes, that's the opium. No. That's... Oh, the Raven. Grip hooks, bakery. Now we checked Ronin's. Let's see the Crimson Cat.
Ah, the Crimson Cat. One of my favorite underground levels. That's been wild nights here. Which reminds me, I wonder if Stefan is still working the bar these days. Secrets, casually, high-quality mustache wax. You know, I always wondered what you'd look like with a mustache. Attention customers. Use Dr. Tennyson's figure pills while under the influence of alcohol may cause loss of consciousness. It's nice to see this establishment out there for its patrons.
Yeah.
Good old Bollingworth Ale. Unlike so many other things in life, it never lets you down. Well, not while you're drinking it anyway. The next morning is another story entirely. This place has been around for quite some time. That well-dressed feline is Red, the official mascot. Looks like a view of Claremont Street with St. Denis Cathedral in the background.
Yeah.
Call me old-fashioned, but I've always felt the piano should be played by an actual human. These automated ones just don't have any soul.
Agreed. I find to play a piano a neat little thing, but to be honest, I prefer, you know.
Quite the selection. It rivals even the Angel.
There's a sailor. With a black cap.
Beg your pardon. Your name wouldn't happen to be Jimbo, would it?
Yeah? Who's asking?
Miles Fordham, private investigator.
Can a guy enjoy his shore leave without being harassed by the law? I've done nothing wrong.
I didn't say you had, and I'm most certainly not the law. I just want to ask you a few questions.
All right, fine.
You know Ronan the Spey?
I knew him, yeah.
Okay.
You knew him?
He and I haven't spoken recently. In about a month, actually. Things didn't go so well last time.
How do you mean?
Let's just say we didn't part on the best of terms. He made it very clear that he didn't want to speak to me again.
Oh my god.
Were you aware that Ronan was murdered?
What? No, when? What happened?
He was shot outside a tavern in Chumley 4 nights ago.
Chumley? What was he doing there?
I was hoping perhaps you could tell me.
I honestly don't know. Ronan hardly went out, and he especially never crossed the river.
What was that?
I think he was just too scared of the world to go out and see it for himself. He was happy enough reading about it in his books or collecting things I brought him back from my travels. Honestly, that's what I liked most about him. He was just an average, boring man. It was just the sort of balance I needed in my life.
That's pretty much the exact same reason I always enjoyed working with you, Miles.
You and Ronan had a special relationship, didn't you?
Mr. Fordham, we're in an underground club. You don't have to tap dance around it. Yes, Ronan and I were a couple. At least up until last month.
What happened, if you don't mind me asking?
We had a misunderstanding. Ronan thought I had been seeing someone else. He was extremely jealous. I tried to explain that he had it all wrong, but he wouldn't hear me out. I was going to give him some time to cool off, but, well, that's not going to happen now, is it?
No.
If it's any consolation, I found a letter you wrote him, which he still kept in his desk.
Damn. Thank you for telling me that.
Wow.
Where does the name Jimbo come from?
Yeah.
It's just a nickname. My real name's James Bowcroft.
And what is it you do?
Yeah.
I'm a sailor.
Oh.
I thought you detective types were supposed to be extra observant. Shouldn't you be able to tell me what my occupation was just by looking at my fingernails or something?
Sorry to disappoint. Perceptiveness is important in my line of work, but I'm also just a man.
I think perhaps Jimbo has been reading too many of those detective stories in Brentwell's.
Do you have any opinions about the recent election?
Not really. I'm usually way at sea, so I don't keep up with politics. The sea's got her own laws.
Yeah.
Anyway, I can't vote, so it's really none of my concern.
Can't
But
vote.
you're still affected by the decisions the Prime Minister makes.
Not very fair, is it, Mr. Fordham?
No,
No?
I suppose it isn't. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
So, he's obviously not a suspect in this. So that really does change a lot of things. Alright, let's try and get in here and talk with people in here.
You again? What do you want?
I was told this was the place to come if I wanted to ride the dragon.
Ah. Well, why didn't you say so? Please, come in.
Okay. There's our Darius
Now
fella.
I see why they call it riding the dragon. Fancy.
Yeah?
Poor horse. That fellow in the armor must have weighed a ton. She's not gonna be much help right now. Best not to bother her.
Mm-hmm.
They're really dedicated to their theme in here, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Now
Let's see if we can talk with Mr. Darius.
Excuse me, I'm looking for a man by the name of Darius.
Well, look no further. Welcome, friend. Sit, join me.
I'll stand, if that's all right. I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions.
Yeah.
Questions are the path to enlightenment. Answers fly by as birds on the breeze.
Yeah.
Will the caged bird sing? That is the true question.
Wonderful. He's as high as a kite. This is gonna be worse than pulling teeth.
I don't know.
Are you familiar with a man named Ronan Lespay?
I know many men. Some old, some young, some rich, some poor. Some I know by name, some by face. But this man you speak of, this Ronan, he is unfamiliar to me.
I have a ferrotype. Do you recognize him?
Forgive me, but my eyes are blurry. I cannot make out his features.
Well, he's useless, isn't he? Too bad there's no way to snap him out of it, like there was with Dupre's kid.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about the murder outside the Silent Raven on election night?
Murder? Was it a murder?
It was. The man was shot in cold blood.
That would explain the commotion, as well as the sound.
So you heard the gunshot?
I did. I thought it might have been one of the voting machines making the noise. But then there were shouts, and people began to run.
Did you see or hear anything before you heard the gunshot?
I seem to remember hearing a man shouting a name.
A name?
Yeah.
Yes. It sounded like Priscilla.
Well, how about that? He's managed to be of some use after all. Assuming he's telling the truth, of course.
Yes.
And does the name Priscilla mean anything to you?
Afraid not, young man.
What can you tell me about the Silent Raven?
Yeah.
Ah, the Raven. My home away from home.
I would have thought that was this place. Unless this one is just the home.
Do you have many friends there? People you speak with often?
Yes, friends. I call them friends anyway, but really, what is a friend? Someone who drinks with you? Someone who shares secrets with you? Are those friends?
I
My
would
father
say yes.
used to tell me that the only two friends you had were your mother and the crown in your pocket. Well, both of those are gone now, so what does that mean for me?
I don't know, sir. I'm just asking about people you speak to at the Raven.
The
Yeah.
barmaid, Nicole, she gets mad at me sometimes when I break things. But she's all right.
Oh, that's nice.
Have you ever conversed with a patron called Singing Tom?
Singing Tom. You mean old Tom Puffin?
Oh.
I'm not sure. I was just told he was called Singing Tom and was a regular at the Silent Raven.
That's the man. I see him in here all the time.
In here, not just at the Raven?
Tom is a child of the poppy, just as I am. He truly understands the world as it is.
Do you know where I might be able to find him?
Yes, he's the choir master at St. Denis Cathedral. That's where he spends his time when he's not here.
You mean to tell me we have to talk to another one of these loonies? Wonderful.
Huh. Yeah.
Do you often come to this establishment, Darius?
Oh, yes. This place is better than any doctor or hospital. It has exactly the cure I need.
Cure? For what?
I'm ill, sir. Just as you are. Just as we all are. Infected by a terrible disease known as life.
Speak for yourself.
But spend a few hours in here with the intoxicating nectar of the poppy, and you'll find nothing can defeat you.
Well, I've often said to people about, have a terminal disease, it's called life. I'm gonna live it up.
So did you manage to get out of here and vote?
Please don't bother me with such trivial matters. Why should I care who leads the government? As long as they don't outlaw places like this, they can do whatever they please.
Is this guy ignorant or just apathetic? Yeah, well, I don't know, and I don't care.
A strange man.
I was wondering if you could tell me whether you saw a certain man at the Raven on election night. He's tall, of strong build, with a beard or mutton chops, dressing all in black and possibly wearing a cap.
Lots of people like that go to the Raven. I see loads of them every night. But now that you mention it, I do remember someone like that. He was a strange one.
How
Oh.
so?
I remember one of the times he came in, he was adjusting his hat. I could have sworn when he took it off for just a moment, his hair was bright red.
How is that strange, exactly?
Yeah.
Because his beard was jet black. It was the oddest thing I'd seen. Well, it was the oddest thing I'd seen. Until his beard slid halfway down his face.
I see. Well, thank you for the information.
Wonderful. This testimony is about as useful as a hole in the head. But again, there might be something to it.
Yeah.
Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye, young man. May you find peace and happiness.
That was very interesting.
Prayer candles? People think lighting one of these is going to solve their problems. If only it were that easy. Also, what happens if they go out? Does that mean your prayer gets canceled? Shh! What? It's an important question. The more I think about it, the more I want to test my theory about prayers being canceled if the candles go out.
Ay, ay, ay. No, I am not gonna blow out a candle. That's just disrespectful.
This looks like the nicer of the two angels. This angel looks like it would throw its lamp at you as soon as you turned your back on it.
I have more respect.
Now this is one intriguing chest. If only we could search it without arousing any suspicions.
Yeah.
Now this is one... What a racket. I'm glad you're not a member of this church. Sitting through Sunday Mass would drive me insane.
So that's our Tom Puffin.
I beg your pardon. Are you Tom Puffin?
I am. How may I help you?
Miles Fordham, private investigator. I wanted to ask you a few questions.
Questions? Have I done something wrong?
No, Mr. Puffin. I simply believe you may have some information that I need.
Very well, then.
What were you doing on election night, Mr. Puffin?
Yeah.
Election night? That was ages ago, wasn't it?
It was 4 nights ago, to be precise.
Oh, you have to understand. I have trouble recalling what I ate for breakfast this morning, let alone what happened 4 nights ago.
Well, isn't that convenient?
Do try to remember, Mr. Puffin. It's quite important.
Well, I know I voted at my local polling place, the Silent Raven. And then, I'm not sure, actually.
Do you know anything about the murder outside the Silent Raven?
Murder?
Yeah.
Yes, a man was shot. Did you see or hear anything?
I don't remember. I don't think so, no.
How long were you at the Raven that evening?
Yeah.
Not very long, I don't think. I went, voted, stayed for a drink, and then I left.
You recall what you did the rest of the evening?
Not specifically. I probably went home and went to bed, like I always do.
Do you recognize the man in this photo?
Is that? No. No, never mind.
What is it?
Well, for a moment, I thought it was someone else, but I was clearly mistaken.
So you don't recognize this person then?
Afraid not. Who is he?
His name is, or rather was, Ronan Lespay.
What? Is he dead?
Yeah.
He is. I'm trying to find out who killed him.
Well, I hope you find your man, Mr. Fordham.
Are you in the habit of using opium, Mr. Puffin?
What? Well, why would you think that?
I met your friend Darius. He told me you share a pastime.
All right, yes, I do enjoy a visit to the opium den from time to time.
From time to time? More like morning, noon, and night.
Have you found the drug has had any adverse effects? Memory loss, for example.
I admit I'm not quite as quick as I used to be.
Yeah.
But without it, I'm in constant pain.
Oh.
Is that right?
I fell off a horse when I was 15, and ever since then, my back's not been right. The doctors haven't been able to help. Poppy is my only comfort. I wish there were another way.
It might be worth seeking a more professional opinion about the effects of opium.
Does the name Priscilla mean anything to you?
Priscilla? What does that have to do with anything?
The name has come up in my investigation. Is it someone you're acquainted with?
Yeah.
No, it isn't. I don't know anyone by that name.
He certainly seemed concerned about her, though.
How did you become choir master of this church?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I studied music at the University of New Britannia. Once I completed my studies, I began writing symphonies in hopes of securing a patron, but I had no luck. So I decided to focus on choral compositions. I sent a few pieces to the bishop, and he offered me the position.
And you enjoy it?
Oh, yes, sir, immensely. I'm able to continue composing songs for our choir, as well as teach music to our young members.
Yeah, that's
I take
very
my
nice.
church duties very seriously.
What else do you do besides lead the choir?
Just a few things here and there, making sure the aisles and the pews are clean, tending to the prayer candles, and that sort of thing.
So, what do you think of the election results?
All right, the election. Who won?
Leroy. He beat Atwood by a significant margin.
Oh, I suppose that's good. I think I may have voted for him, but I'm not sure.
I'll let you resume your practicing, Mr. Puffin.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Well,
Well, that's all of them. Hope you made a wish.
quiet you.
Could I have another moment of your time, Mr. Puffin?
Yes, I suppose so.
It seems that all the prayer candles have gone out.
Have they? Blast, I keep saying there's a draft, but nobody's done anything about it. Excuse me for a moment, won't you?
Certainly.
Let's hope this chest hasn't got squeaky hinges.
Yeah. Dearest Ned, your last letter made me giggle with delight. I just cannot stop dreaming of the day we can finally make our dreams come true and live together as man and wife. I think it would be just the most splendid idea to get a puppy. I've already begun thinking of names. How does Woofy sound? All my love, P. Priscilla. Oh. its name's popped up again. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the Silent Raven. And so I want to ask our the barmaid there about Priscilla. So from now on, and we'll call it a game here, we'll save the game. And next time round, we will venture more into finding things out. And I do mean it. We're going to figure out what's going on here. And we'll figure out who or what has been... I'm starting to really think that there was some underhanded stuff going on. Possibly with election tampering. Because I don't think this is a jilted love or anything like that. But we shall find out. But if you've watched this far to the end, thank you very much. Again, this is Rich Kale here on YouTube, Rich10X elsewhere. Besides Lamplight City, I'm working my way through other games, like the Tomb Raider franchise. I'm going to do the Core Designs timeline, including Angel of Darkness. Because I might as well just complete the whole Core Design timeline. And I'm on Last Revelation right now. Also working my way through the Sherlock Holmes games. In fact, at the current time, I am still working my way through the 5th game in the series chronology at the time of this recording, which is Sherlock Holmes Secret of the Silver Earring, which is the 2nd game released. I am also working my way through Aliens vs. Predator, the 2010 release on the Predator campaign. I have something planned to go in where I was playing Henry Stickmin as I completed a Henry Stickmin collection. I am also working my way through The Witness, which is a nice, fun, little relaxing game. I am working my way through the Zork franchise in chronological order. That means I'm starting with Zork 0. And I am working my way through Gibbous, a Cthulhu adventure. And that one is really taking some fun turns now. Until next time, everyone, again, this is Rich Kale here on YouTube, Rich10X elsewhere. Also, come check out my runs through Monstrum 2, the stories that I've been reading that I've written over the years, as well as my retrospectives that go up every weekend and some other stuff. Until next time, all, take care. Bye.